And that wind blew like this pretty much all night. Might have been more restful to cowboy camp. And here Tater spends her one morning on trail, hiding, and trying to go back to sleep, while I continually try and talk to her and go, Bundy, Bundy.
I'm talking, I'm just trying to stay warm.
You were drooling earlier, if that's not. And after a bit of a wild night, wind was basically buffeting us pretty much the entire night, made it hard to sleep. It's calmed down a little bit. Sadly, this is the morning where Taters has to leave because she has a job. She might act sad, but let's be realistic here. She's just relieved that she's leaving before Taters Tuesday and she has to do anything. The good news is she will be back in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Not even that long.
It's her spring break and she will be coming back out here. A friend's gonna drop her off and then she'll hike with me for 10-ish days, something like that.
Not quite, but almost.
And then she leaves again and I finish this up.
So.
And then she'll be back in June, full time, when we do the Mississippi. Until then, work, make all the monies.
It feels so good to be back on children. Trail.
I know, I wish you could stay. Oh well, don't worry, you get to leave before things go bad, because they always go bad.
No, not this time.
Right, the last trip ended in COVID, noro, crapping myself, vomiting, but this one, oh no, yeah. I'm gonna be out here till November. It's gonna go really smoothly, nothing but no bad days, no bad days. That's gonna be our new channel name, No Bad Days, because we are liars. That's the problem with doing enough of this. You get experience enough where you're like, there's going to be very bad days.
Not out here.
I don't know where they're coming, but they're coming. I'm not escaping this without really bad days. Nah, and yet I do it anyway. Ooh, that guy's over there now. So the ground out here is just complete garbage, so I had to make do as best I could with the rocks. This is part of the reason why I like the semi-freestanding tents that have poles. Because worst case, you can set them up, you know, without the fly, and you don't need to get anything in. But we made it work. Okay, and that makes me a solo hiker once again for a couple of weeks until spring break at least. We've already had, I think, 2 groups pass us. The park shuttle runs from the visitor center at 8:30, so I'm kind of expecting that's when people got moving. And from comments, some people had pre-hiked the border sections. Jen is basically going out to Colossal Cave, dropping my resupply to save us postage since it's on the way, seeing if she can see the cute animals. And then she goes back to work, to her job, which she loves, but it's always sad when we have to separate. Last night was a pretty rough one. Our spot was relatively well protected for how the wind was coming as the sun went down. But later at night, it kind of came from all directions. I've had enough experience that I tend to overly lay rocks and things on all the stakes just to be safe. So we made it through the night, but the flapping of the tent flap woke us up quite a bit. Honestly, in cases like that, some of the times I'll just leave the tent fly off because it doesn't make as much noise. But wind chill was kind of brutal last night. Any exposed skin was just super cold, so we decided it was worth it keeping the fly on. So, plan for today is basically, I barely have a plan. I am just going to hike as far as I reasonably can. My kind of rough goal is 15 a day. I want to try and not overdo it, as I have a tendency to do early on, pushing, 22, 23 miles, which is where I am later in the hike, and then struggling with overuse injuries and things like that. Plan is to go and do a partial resupply at Patagonia. That'll be in a couple of days. Charge batteries if I need it. And yeah, this is the rare, unusual trip where I don't really have a hard schedule on me. I need to be back in Colorado Springs on June 3rd, basically to leave for the Mississippi. And I'm not going to need that long to go 800 miles. I am hoping to do 600 additional miles across Utah, but that just depends on conditions. So that is kind of the rough plan though. 1,400, 1,500 miles, a mix of a national scenic trail and one of a couple of routes that cut through Utah. So you can see the switchbacks down there. That's the way up we wanted to go. That's Joe's trail. And there's less backtracking to get down to the monument from there. But no place to leave a car. Jen wanted to come with me, so we did Montezuma Pass. This trail is on far out though. Jen and I both commented that the quality of comments were not the best. a lot of inane, yay me, here's my trail name. Not a lot of pertinent details that you're actually looking for. You know, where can you get fuel, stuff like that. I am happy to have it for the water situation. I have heard from multiple people that the worst water they ever had to drink was on the AZT. So that should be fun. But we'll see. I've done some pretty questionable things over the years. That would have a pretty high bar to surpass. Ran into some folks that slept in the parking lot last night. So there's at least a handful of others in the general vicinity. Yeah. Per the beta I got, I did not carry micro spikes or nice axe or anything out here. If I'd left a couple of weeks ago, I would have, but you can see even where there is kind of icy snow, there's going to be a boot track at this point. And the trail doesn't stay up high. The snow most people were complaining about is only in the first 20 some miles. After that, then it gets back to desert and long water carries, things like that, until at least Mongolian Rim, Grand Canyon, that's those sort of things. But I got weeks. So I've met about 5 people going various ways so far. So yeah, there are people out here. Also, unfortunately, I suspect there's people that are a little bit newer out here and doing things like, you know, pre-caching water in sections they don't need it and then leaving the trash. Insert Tater saying scumbag here. And here we got Bathtub Spring around mile 8. This is where I heard a lot of people on the shuttle yesterday were aiming. Ooh, nice water. Burr. Sitting down there talking to somebody, but it's too damn cold to sit still. So the funny thing, that guy down there just did the Florida Trail. Eventually talking, went, wait, are you like the masochist? This has been really nice so far. Bit of a relief to get out of the wind in that early bit. But other than that. So I'm on the far side of that initial mountain range and it has gotten far, far more pleasant out here. It really was just that brutal wind. God, it's nice out here. Okay, just about 5:30. Now I'm over 15 miles. So, first campsite I find after water. It's gonna be home sweet home for tonight. And I just got down to water and set up right as it got dark. With how many people I came across, I was a little concerned about having others come and jump my camp. So I'm off here in the bushes a little ways, which works for me. Home sweet home for the night.